Night of the Thirst, Episode 2, The Quarantine. Trapped in a quarantine zone, the survivors face dwindling resources, dwindling hope, and the constant threat of vampire incursions. Paranoia and mistrust fester as the lines between friend and foe blur. Characters: Dr. Anya Sharma. Haunted by her transformation, Anya struggles to control her bloodlust while searching for a cure. Detective Jake Riley. Haunted by the loss of his wife, Riley becomes increasingly ruthless in his fight for survival. Marcus Marks Johnson. Growing weary of the constant fear, Marks begins to question their chances of survival. Sofia Rodriguez. Utilizing her hacking skills, Sofia tries to maintain contact with the outside world, but the signals are growing weaker. Trapped in a quarantine zone, the survivors face dwindling resources, dwindling hope, and the constant threat of vampire incursions. Paranoia and mistrust fester as the lines between friend and foe blur. Abandoned hospital. Dust motes dance in the shafts of sunlight piercing through shattered windows of the abandoned hospital. The air is thick with the stench of decay and the lingering metallic tang of blood. Dr. Anya Sharma, her eyes haunted by the memory of her transformation, sits hunched over a makeshift table, feverishly scribbling notes in a blood-stained journal. Detective Jake Riley. His face hardened with grief and suspicion, paces restlessly. The loss of his wife still weighs heavily upon him, and the constant threat of the undead has eroded his trust in everyone, even Anya. Sophia, hunched over a laptop, frantically taps at the keyboard. The screen flickers, displaying static and distorted images. Still nothing, she mutters, frustration etched on her face. The signal's getting weaker. We're losing contact with the outside world. Marks, his face drawn with exhaustion, marching weapon in hand. I feel internalizably trapped like rats in a cage, he says, his voice hoarse. But what if there's no way out of this mess? Suddenly, a figure emerges from the shadows, its eyes glowing red in the darkness. It lunges, sinking its teeth into the neck of one of the scouts. Sophia, her fingers flying across the keyboard, discovers a hidden military bunker beneath the city, rumored to be a heavily fortified stronghold with ample supplies. Hope flickers in the eyes of the survivors. Anya, tormented by her thirst, locks herself in a room, barricading the door with furniture. She hears the moans and growls of the infected outside, their hunger, a constant, insidious presence. Panic grips her. The survivors emerge from the hospital, cautiously navigating the treacherous streets. They encounter a horde of infected civilians, their eyes glazed over, their movements jerky and erratic. A brutal, bloody fight ensues. Anya, driven to the brink by her bloodlust, hears the screams of her friends. She breaks down the barricaded door, her eyes burning with an unnatural intensity. Riley, witnessing Anya's transformation, is horrified. He knows he can't trust her anymore. The lines between friend and foe have blurred, and the fight for survival has become even more desperate. Anya, her eyes glowing red, stands amidst the carnage, a terrifying predator unleashed upon the world. The survivors, trapped in the crossfire, must now contend with not only the undead, but also the terrifying transformation of their own. Anya, overwhelmed by the sheer number of infected, is cornered. As the vampires close in, she closes her eyes, accepting her fate. Please subscribe for notification of Episode 3, the finale.